Hi, I'm James the Box Office Artist and welcome to another tutorial. Every Friday you're going to get a brand new tutorial. Just a little information that I have in the back of my mind to share with you and drop some knowledge. And last week a lot of you have asked me because I have done the front of a superhero when it comes to superhero anatomy. Did the front, you know, the fun part, the chest and the pecs and chest and pecs, same thing, the abs and all of that. And a lot of you asked me, can I go and draw the back of the character? So I thought, you know what, that'd be a great tutorial. So that's what we're going to do today. It's superhero anatomy, but the back. So let's do that right now. Okay, let's get started. To start off, just to show the material, first of all, I use my classic Pilot color Eno lead. I'll admit to you guys that I'm not sure how long this is going to last. I'm actually out of lead. My last two leads are in here, and you see how much this breaks. Okay, so I will do my best with this. Now, if by chance I run out of pencil, I might use this particular blue pencil. This is good too, though it's not as dark as this one. This is a Cool Erase non-photo blue pencil, and works just as well, but it's not as dark. Okay, so if by chance that this one doesn't work, then I'll go with this one, and if this is too light, I might just even go straight into the ink, and we will go from there. Okay, but like I mentioned before in the intro, we are going to be doing the back of a superhero. Okay, the back of the superhero, full body back of the superhero, because a lot of you are asking how to do that, because the ones I've done before, they have been the front. So I thought it'd be cool to do a character that where you pretty much their whole costume is sort of spandex in that sense. So I thought, let's go with Nightwing. Okay, so Nightwing, pretty much if you look at his costume, like his old classic costume, if you don't know who Nightwing is, it's Robin who grew up, and this is his new alias, it's Nightwing. And we're going to do a little bit more of a classic style costume, and that way we could see more of his back. Okay, he doesn't have any armor on him or anything, pretty much it's just black spandex. Okay, but at the same time we have a good look at what these muscles should look like, and we're going to go through the same processes that we have done through our previous tutorials. Okay, so I'm going to go with the blue line here. I'm just going to quickly outline his form. Now, it's pretty much, it's like the same really as my method when doing the front. Okay, so I do something round for the head first, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw the skeleton and how he's going to stand. And honestly, if you look at this, it's actually very similar to how I start the front, if I were to draw the front. Okay, now you see here these little balls here. I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I believe I mentioned this before. Like these little balls here that I'm drawing here, these are like the joint areas, the joints. And these are I'm actually trying to line up in perspective a little bit so it's not flat. That's why sometimes I draw lines here. I believe I mentioned that in one of my tutorials before. So I'm going to draw the leg back here like this, and leg back like this, and let me just make sure it's in camera, which it is. Fantastic. Am I recording? Let's find out. Yes, I'm recording. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to draw one arm down here. Now I did mention this before. Now usually proportion-wise, the arm, okay, that the hand should end roughly around the middle of the thigh. Okay, the hand should end roughly around the middle of the thigh, depending on your type of character, but for the most part should end in the middle of the thigh. And most superheroes, the way people draw them, they usually draw them roughly around 9 heads high, a little bigger than the average human. I believe the average human is about 8 heads high. If we look at photographs, try to measure them, for the most part about 8 heads high. But superheroes are a little bit more, you know, bigger in structure, you know, so we go with the 9 heads high. Alright, so that's locked in. Now, like I did before, I'm going to start filling in with geometric shapes, same as we done in the last tutorial. And again, this is just a way to know that we are working in 3D here, thinking in 3D. And I keep trying to hit that home with you guys, thinking in 3D. So I make these little shapes here, Like this is one for the pelvis area here. This is his derriere, as we would say. I'm from Canada. We speak French here. Okay, and then I put cylinders. I put cylinders for the legs. Okay, and put more cylinders here. As you can tell, I curved it, right? You see these cylinders here? I curved them. And same with this, I curved them like this for the calves. Okay, and then we have the feet here. Okay, let's go back to the upper body. So this is the rib cage, but it's the back of the rib cage. Okay, and then we have a cylinder here, which will be this arm here. This would be the right arm, and then another cylinder here, which would be the forearm, and then just draw something quick for the hands. I won't go into that till a little bit later. The same on this side. I draw a little cylinder here. I imagine here that the cylinder is behind this particular part of the back here. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw the other hand here. And I'm going to draw a little cylinder here for the neck, which should be on the other side of this ball that we're making for the rib cage. So with that, now we could actually go ahead and start putting in the muscles. Now, if you aren't familiar with the way muscles work, get some reference, okay? Again, nothing wrong with getting reference, okay? A lot of people think it's, you know, it's a badge of honor that they don't look at anything when they're drawing something. And that's fine if you have experience down the road, but how are you going to learn how things look properly if you don't look at things, okay? If you are learning, I suggest look at a lot of reference, okay? Now, there's a difference between copying someone's artwork and then looking at real life. When I say look at reference, I'd prefer that you look at real life as opposed to looking at someone's artwork, because usually when you look at someone's artwork, they have a style that they're trying to follow, they're trying to do different things. When you're trying to get things like muscles accurate, you're best off looking at humans, okay? Start googling bodybuilders, because with bodybuilders you could actually see how those muscles protrude in their back, okay? Start googling just regular anatomy, muscular anatomy, and see how those work. You could figure out the names, and you could go from there, okay? And you could see how muscles work, how they work under the skin, and that will actually help you a lot, okay, when you're trying to draw these kind of muscles. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so first of all, this cylinder would go like right into the skull. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the head here. Maybe I'll have the head turn a tiny bit, just so we could see. It's Dick Grayson here. And then drawing around a line for the eyes here, so we could see a little bit of his face here, okay? But here's the neck. Okay, now I'm going to start with the what's called the upper back here. So things that stand out, especially with the strong superhero, are the traps, the trapezius muscle, okay? And usually that's what makes a strong bodybuilder, is this trap muscle here. Trap muscles are like, if any of you work out, you'll know trap muscles are the hardest to bring up, really. And that's how you can tell sometimes if a bodybuilder's enhanced, is how big his traps are. Okay, but you don't think about those type of things when you draw in comics, so. Okay, and then of course your deltoid muscle here. Okay, now I'm not gonna make this as big because I'm not making this like how we did the oversized superhero last week. So this will be more normal size here. So I'm just drawing a couple balls here for the shoulders, okay, and then the trap muscle will like kind of connect into there. Okay, now things you got to think about here for the back. Okay, so we I guess this is part of the traps too, this back part here. It's kind of like this V in the back here, but it's usually not pronounced. You usually don't see an artist actually draw that in. I'm just drawing it in for my sake. Okay, then we got the spine here, that spine line, because that's one thing about the back. You usually always see that kind of division of the back here. Okay, and then you have like the scapula. You know the scapula? it's like these two areas here. And then these are usually separated into two. So we got the teres major, teres major and teres minor. Okay, so we got these two here like this. Okay, now again, these type of things, I'm probably not going to like emphasize them. I'll probably show them a little bit, but not too much. Okay, and then we have the lat muscle here. The lat muscle, again, that's what every bodybuilder loves to work on, these lat muscles here. You see these in the front as well. We call it like the cobra muscles, the wings of the back. That's what we got going on there, okay? And then we have the trunk here like that, okay? And now we have the glutes, the bum bum, as my kids would say, bum bum, okay? So in superheroes, depending on the artist, sometimes they do like making these big round things. Some guys, they don't like drawing the line in the middle. Some do. Some like keeping it flat across. So it's all on you, how much you want to draw. Okay. Okay, so I'll just draw it like that for now. So the tricep is probably the most important part of the arm because it is 2/3 of the arm. And again, a lot of people when they're working out, they're working on their bicep muscles because you don't want to be like the guys like, oh, peak, but you don't walk around like this. You don't walk around on the beach like this, right? You walk around like this, and because you walk around like that, people notice your big arms is more noticeable by your triceps than your biceps. Same with superheroes; their triceps got to be strong. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and draw the elbow muscle here, and then all of the forearm muscles there. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other side here. So we got the elbow here going. And then the forearm. This is here, okay? So I won't fill in the hands yet. Like the one big muscle in the back here. This is actually two muscles, but some people, they just draw them like as one. And then we have all the muscles that's going in the front. Now, the thing about this leg here, it's kind of on the side a little bit, so you probably could see a little bit of the quad, but not too much, okay? Then we get the knee here, and then the big calves, So we have the calves, usually two muscles stand out here. The two calf muscles here stand out like that. And then we get down to the feet. Now, this is always hard to draw, the feet in perspective from the back. Okay, because you have things like the heel. Okay, and if you think of 3D, guys, again, there's another reason why I wanted you to think of 3D. It would help draw these type of things when you're trying to think like things in geometric shapes, as opposed to like this flat drawing. It will really help you. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side here. Like that. Now I'm going to draw again the calf muscle here. Again, calves are one of those things that's really, really hard to bring up if you're not genetically gifted with your calves. Any bodybuilder will tell you that. It's really hard for a lot of bodybuilders to get really big calves because, oops, of the size. Now, I am running out of blue line pencil. It's almost coming to the end, but I don't think I need much more of it, okay? Because the rest of the details I could probably do in ink, so I'm not too worried about it. So, okay, so one more thing I wanted to handle with the blue line before we go into the ink is the hands. Now, usually when the hands are at rest, okay, on your sides, when they're at rest, they're usually not in a closed fist like this, nor is their hand like sprayed out like this. Usually when people are at rest, standing, their hands are like kind of like this, kind of curled like this. Usually, it's like it wants to close, but then gravity is kind of pulling it down. So usually when people are at rest, their hands are kind of like this, if you could see that. Okay, so with that, usually we could draw the hands kind of like that. So I'm gonna try to attempt. Whoops. Okay, let's see if I have enough pencil to go here. Okay. So we got to draw the hand at rest. So you're gonna see here that the fingers kind of curl up. I'm gonna try doing the curl, and then the thumbs on the side like that. Same with this side here. So this takes practice, okay? It might look a little wonky in my drawing here, but it takes a little bit of practice, okay? And now I'm gonna just quickly draw the side of his face here. Maybe see a little bit of the nose, but not much, okay? Now the ears. Here's an interesting thing with the ears. So usually when I draw the ear in the back of the head, it's kind of like this one solid, kind of like a cylinder, and then you kind of see the back of the ear. So I draw a little line like that, just like that. And then I would fill the rest in with hair, depending on what his hair looks like. Okay, so that is the blue line. Okay, that's how we do the blue line. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would render this in ink. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my one, okay, 0.1 micron. Pretty much just to outline. I will go and thicken up the lines. So again, it's all up to you exactly how much you want to render of this thing. Okay, so I'm actually, even before I go ahead with this, I'm just going to actually draw in a little bit of costume detail here before I go ahead and render it. So he has like this V in the back, so I'm going to go like this, because this will help me in determining how to actually render this guy once I figure out the actual costume detail. Okay, so I want this going all the way to the middle. That's why it's going there. Whoops, this should have gone up a little bit more. Like that, and like that. Okay, and this goes up like this and around like that. Okay, I just wanted to figure out how this V went, and what exactly is around his neck. So I'm going to actually go in and start drawing some of these details here. Okay, so I'm going to actually speed this up for the sped up version. Okay, now this again, there's a real-time version of this. So if you're watching the real-time version, I'm going to do this in real time, so you could go ahead and follow along line for line. Okay, so that's for you. However, if you want to see me do everything at once and then try it on later on, that's when the sped up version is for you. So let's get going. Okay, I made a boo-boo. As you can tell, I made a boo-boo here. I tried to draw the ear on the other side. Now I'm looking at it. That doesn't make any sense at all. You wouldn't see the other side with his head turned like that. So I'm going to try a couple things. I'm going to try to blend it in. And that's probably not going to work. So I'm going to probably white out that side there. So I hope you guys didn't do that part. But for the most part, that's it outlined. Okay, so you know, as you can tell, it's not as detailed as the front, as you would with the front, you know, outlining all these different muscle groups here. So we don't get as detailed because the front you have the chest and then all those abs you got to worry about. You just add a little bit more detail here. But for the most part, for the back, you don't have to worry too much about that. Now the difference comes in when you start adding shading, because what we're going to try to do is add some volume to this side. So we're going to add some light that's actually going to go this way. I'm going to add an arrow here, so I know exactly where the light's coming from. And now we're going to go ahead with my favorite, the Sharpie, and we're going to start laying in all the black. Okay, so we are going to do that right now. Okay, so I blacked out areas that I felt would be dark in this particular instance. Now I did leave some detail here. As you can tell, I left not a lot of Sharpie here. I put a little bit, but not a lot in here because this is a different color than this. And to be honest, most of the body, it's a black, so you would have a little bit more of the heavy-handed type black feel when it comes to this kind of drawing. Okay, so I probably won't stop here because, if I left it like this, I'm really not happy with the rendering. So I'm going to go in and then do my classic hatching, but mainly just to emphasize certain areas. And mainly the hatching, again, is just to get the feel of the 3D-ness that we were trying to get the roundness going with all of these muscles, and then we will be good. And as you can tell here, I was able to work in that mistake. I was able to work it in enough by giving him more of like a what's called a mullet, more like a mullet style haircut over here. So that's what we did there. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start hatching this up, and then we will almost be done. This is a quicker one, but we will almost be done this particular lesson. So let's get to it. Okay, and there you go. So there you have it. You know, it's a little bit more simpler than doing the front of the superhero, doing the back. And in all honesty, you don't do it as much as the front, but there will be situations, if you are actually drawing a comic book, where you will have to draw the back of the character. So again, I can't stress enough, learn your anatomy. Learn your anatomy. Go find, and it's so easy to find out nowadays. It's so easy just to type in Google back muscles, back bones, stuff like that, back skeleton, just so you could understand how the body works back there, so that will help your drawings immensely. So do that, okay? Do your research, do your homework, try to figure out what the muscles are called, okay? Don't just rely on what I talked about in this particular video, okay? Actually look at how those muscles work, right? Look at real life, look at science books, okay? Or look at scientific images of the muscles and how they interconnect. Even read up on how they work if you want to, All of that will help you with your drawings, because if you have that greater understanding, that's gonna change your drawing from looking like something that you were just trying to copy, like something that's more 2D into something that feels more 3D, something, and that will give just that so much more volume and life to your drawing if you understand how those particular muscles work. Okay, so I hope that made sense. I hope you liked the tutorial that I did today. Again, any questions that you have, please do let me know below. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. You know, and the drawing was okay at the end, but the main point is I hope you guys learned something from the tutorial. So again, all these tutorials should drop every Friday. In North America, so hopefully if you are international, just say you're from Australia or in China, so you should have a tutorial that you could play around with on the weekend. That is my plan. So guys, thank you again for all your support. Means so much to me. I really do appreciate that. And again, with this particular tutorial, there is a short version which you are watching on my regular channel, and the long version, I decided for the long versions, why don't we throw that over to the live channel, okay, just so we don't clog up the feeds. All right, so if you want to see the real-time version of this, okay, of this version, head over to my live channel. So that's youtube.com/JamesReyes. You will find the real-time version, so there is no time lapse, just straight. Not like this one where I time lapsed the actual line art of it, okay, or the inking part. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please continue to follow me on social media: Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram @BoxOfficeArtist, Facebook.com/TheBoxOfficeArtist. And if you are watching this on Friday, I should be live streaming tonight. It is retro night, so I'm drawing 80s, 90s characters. So head over there to Facebook and give me your suggestions. I would love to hear them. Also follow me on twitch.tv/BoxOfficeArtist, where I live stream every Tuesday. And if you missed last Tuesday's stream, there should be a stream. I put up that video, so you could check that out if you missed it. And don't forget that contest, that artwork giveaway. If you don't know how to enter, please do look for that Twitch video I did a couple days ago. Look for that video, Titanfall 2, drawing Titanfall 2, where I outline how you could win that particular artwork. My name is James. I'm the Box Office Artist. Thank you so much for watching. Keep drawing, and I'll see all of you guys tomorrow.